Hello, it's Marish again. I don't know what day it is. It's like Wednesday. Um, Last night I put up a video on balancing some kind of awkward equations, basically only one awkward equation. I'll do more as time goes by, but for now, these are combustion reactions. And a combustion reaction is any reaction that has a hydrocarbon, so some kind of CH compound, combining with an oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. There's a lot of different forms of that. Sometimes you have other things, like this isn't necessarily just a hydrocarbon, it also has oxygen, but it still combines with oxygen to make carbon dioxide and water. So those are like the trademarks to look for in a combustion reaction, C, H, and O to make carbon dioxide and water. So if you see those two things, it's a combustion reaction, and you should always approach these in a specific way. Go in order. Always do carbon first, followed by hydrogen, then oxygen, and never try oxygen first. It's one of those weird cases where oxygen is in two spots on one side and oftentimes it's alone on the other side, and you always end up with an odd number. CO2 and H2O is always 3 oxygens, so odd numbers are awful, so we're going to hold off and do those last. So in this first equation we're going to start with carbon. We have 3 carbons over here, so over here I'm going to put a 3. So now I have 3 carbons. I have 8 hydrogens over here. Over here I have 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. So my carbons are taken care of. My hydrogens are taken care of. Now it's time for oxygen. Right here we have 6. And don't forget this one over here, you have 4. 6 and 4 is 10. That's a pretty, that's not a 10, that's a 0. That's a pretty easy one to balance out. 10 divided by 2 is 5, so we put 5 right there. Now in order of difficulty, I'd say that that kind of reaction, very simple. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen is easy at the end. That is a very easy, difficulty of 1. Second, difficulty of 4. Arbitrary numbers, I don't know why I said 4. It's just, I thought I was being funny. Anyway. Same process here. You're going to start with carbon first. We have 7, so over here I put a 7 to make 7 carbons. And I have 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7, so we're going to put a 7 there as well. So we have 7 and 7. Now, count your oxygens. You have 14 and 7. Add those together, you get 21. Odd. Which is bad. So what we're going to do, so this is exactly like the problem I did last night, where the only way to balance my oxygens is to, over here, put a 10.5. And in nature, we're not allowed to do that because oxygen exists as O2. It doesn't exist as oxygen, one atom, and you can never have half of an O2. So what we need to do in this instance, when you have an odd number of oxygens after you've done carbon and hydrogen, you take this number 21. Instead of having it, we're going to just put 21 here. That is in essence twice as much as we had over here. Now we have 42. If I double something on one side, I have to double everything. So I'm going to double this. I'm going to double this. And I'm going to double this. And now we have a balanced reaction. We have 14 carbons, 28 oxygens. 14 carbons, 28 oxygens. Hydrogens, whatever those are. 42 oxygens. And here, oh my gosh, 14 times 2, 7 times 2, that's a 2. I suck. 28 and 14 is 42. This last one was a request by a student last night, so we'll try it. I've not actually balanced it yet, and I haven't done this one in a while, so I will probably mess it up, but let's do it anyway. First, hydrocarbon reaction, or combustion reaction. Carbon first, so I'm going to put a 7. Hydrogen next, so I'm going to put a 3, because 3 times 2 is 6. Now count my oxygens. That's 14. And 3, which is 17. Now this looks a little easier than the last one. Actually, no, it doesn't. It looks worse. Who am I kidding? 17 is an odd number. Odd number is awful. So what I'm going to do, again, as before, is I'm going to want to double this like I did up here. Instead of 21, instead of 10.5, I put 21. I can't put 17 here. The reason I can't put 17 there is because that would make 34 plus 2, and that's an issue. So what we're going to do here is a little different approach. We're going to double everything else first and then do oxygen. If you get that odd number, you're going to end up doubling everything. So let's just do that to begin with a 2. Double this to 14. Double this to 6. My oxygens over here are now 28. 6 and 28 is now 34. So 34 divided by 4, or 2, is 17. But I have 4 here. So I'm going to say 34 minus 4 is 30. If I put 15 here, I get 30 and 4. And now I'm balanced. I really hope that made sense. Keep trying. Good luck. Talk to you later.